Hello trader, welcome back to deeppocketsforex. We'll be giving you our weekly forex forecast. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification button to get our weekly forex updates. Before we waste any more time, let's dive into the weekly forex forecast. This is EURNZD. On EURNZD, we're expecting to get a corrective structure here. Then we get this up move. This up move that we're expecting is expected to break this previous high and this previous high. Then after we get this up move, we'll be expecting this down wave. This is what we're expecting on EURNZD. There's also a possibility that from here we may get this push down. Breaking this previous low. And then after we break this previous low, we might have one more run up like this. And this up is expected to slightly break this previous high. Then that is when we can get this down push. This down push here that is highlighted here, that is when we can have it. That is what we're expecting on EURNZD. We're expecting this down wave. Remember, in forex, price can follow different routes, but the main route is this big wave down. Before getting this big wave, price can follow different routes and then it can get to this big wave. The first route, just as we stated, the route with the highest probability is to get a corrective structure here, then up. Then you can get this down, the main route. Then from here, there's a chance that we might get this down move here like this, and then from here we may get an up move like this. So if we manage to get an entry on the inner circle and then we notice this, we're able to trade this, we can be trading this. And then another option is to get this corrective structure here, then this up move. If we get this too can be tradable. We can ignore the correction but then look for an up move, an entry up to around this area. Then we can also sell the down move based on our entry conditions. If our entry conditions are satisfied, we can be looking forward for those entries. Then alternatively, this is the route with the least chances of taking place. We can have this down move like this down wave like this, and if it happens and then we are able to spot this, we can be looking forward to enter this during the week. That's on EURNZD. This is NZDJPY. For NZDJPY, we have an expectation to get a corrective structure here, then a down move like this, all the way down to this area. That is what will happen. That is what we are expecting on NZDJPY. We're expecting this corrective structure here, then down, all the way down. This corrective structure can just be a small corrective structure like this, or it can be a deeper corrective structure like this, a bigger one, and we can get this drop. That is what we're expecting on NZDJPY. Here we can also have an impulse move like this, then get a correction, then impulse, then down like that, all the way down to this area. That is what we are expecting on NZDJPY. This is GBPUSD. Based on current structure on GBPUSD, it's not yet ready to go down like this. Right now we can have price giving a slight corrective structure here, then up like this, and then maybe from here, after slightly breaking this previous low, this previous high, we can be looking forward for a down move. This down move, from here we can either go up, or from here we can either move down to up to around this area, and from here we may be looking for another up. Like that. That's what we're expecting on GBPUSD. Right now it does not show any major down. To be expected soon. That is what we have on GBPUSD. This is EURCAD. For EURCAD, we can expect an up move like this. Breaking this previous high, and then from then we can be getting a drop like this. This drop is expected to break this previous low, and then we can be looking forward for an up move like this. It's not going to be a big up move, because how structure has been developing, it shows that we may not be getting this big up move that we're expecting here, because structure as it develops we keep getting more data and updating the previous structures that we have shared. So the current structure on EURCAD, we're expecting this up move, then we expect this down, then we expect this up. This up move is expected to break this previous high. That is what we are expecting on EURCAD. This is NZDCAD. NZDCAD structure is showing that we're expecting a corrective structure here than an up move. This up move might move up to around this area. This is current structure, and then from here we may be assessing price and seeing what's next, but as of now we should just expect a corrective structure here than an up move up to around this area. And keep in mind, this up move may just move like this to around this area here. Then from here we may take the next move based on what happens around this area. So we can just wait for price to get to around this area, then we can assess what happens from here, then we can give you our next opinion. That is what we're expecting on NZDCAD. This is NZDUSD. Now for NZDUSD, we're expecting this drop to go all the way down up to around this area, breaking this previous low. But as you can see, we just headed up to around this low here, and then getting a premature up. So based on what is happening here, we may move all the way up like this, all the way up, breaking this previous high. Or this might just be a pullback, getting ready for another drop to around this area. So even if you are willing to take a buy or you're already in a buy here, just keep in mind that we can have this drop here anytime. Just be on the lookout. Then from here, if we get this drop, we can be looking forward for this up move here, all the way up. Remember, this up move is expected, either it's from here up or it's from here up. That is what we are having on NZDCAD. There's an expected up move here. If we get a corrective structure here, we can push up like this, and then we can also have what looks like a corrective structure, and then it goes even deeper and breaks through this previous low. Then from here, as it completes, we can be looking forward to this up move. We can be looking forward for a buy. That is what we have on NZDUSD. This is USDJPY, and remember this past week on USDJPY we warned those who are still holding buys. We said we're expecting a drop here. There's an expected drop here, and then we may move like this, then up like this. There's an expected movement. We may be moving like this, then we get an up move, breaking high and breaking high like this. So if you manage to get an entry here to sell, it's just a small move, but you can be selling down, and then you can take profit right around this area here. Then from here we may be looking for an up move like this, and if you're able to catch entry here, you can be looking for that entry based on your entry conditions. Right now we cannot confirm any buy from here until we assess structure at this point. And that is what we have on USDJPY. We're expecting this drop here, and if you are able to trade it, you can be looking forward for an entry. This is EURGBP. Remember, on EURGBP we mentioned to you something in the past. We mentioned to you about an advancing correction. Now you see that we had just a small corrective structure like this, and then we got a down move. Now we're getting another form of a correction here. Now that's what we called an advancing correction. We mentioned to you this in the past. We said a correction can start small and start advancing, but the moment this is completed, we can get something like this, up like this. Then from here we can get another drop like this. And after this whole advancing correction is completed, we can be having this wave up. That's what we were talking about. We can have this wave up. From here we can also have a small corrective structure like this, then get this drop. But the main route is this big movement. So you need to be assessing structure if we're going to get the big movement after the drop, or we can possibly also have this big movement from here all the way up. We're looking forward to getting this structure all the way up. like this. This is the up move that we are looking for. If we get this drop, this is not a drop that will be traded. We're only looking forward for an entry to buy the bigger movement because it gives us better risk to reward. This is GBPNZD. GBPNZD, we're expecting a corrective structure here. Then we can get a drop. To how far this drop is gonna go right now is not yet known, because from here we can get a corrective structure established here, a bigger one here like this. You can see a bigger corrective structure like this. Then we can be getting this up move, breaking through this high, breaking through this high like this. This is a movement that is possible. There's a possible route. Then from here again we can be getting corrective structure like this, then getting a drop all the way down like this, all the way down, breaking this previous low up to around this area. So price can move like this, price can move like this. Then from here we can be letting you know of the next move from here. This is CADJPY, and CADJPY, we say that would let you know when this up move completes. Right now it's not yet completed. We may get an impulse move like this, then corrective structure, then down. Or alternatively we may get this impulse move like this, and then this would just be a start of a correction like this. Then price may be pushing up one more time. Similar, we may get something similar to this. We can get it bigger or we can get it smaller like this, and then push up. Then after we get this up move, this is when this down move can be expected, something like this. This is USDCHF, and nothing has changed from the structure that we shared this previous week. We say that we may be getting a corrective structure like this, then all the way up, breaking this high and breaking this high like this. And we can also have just maybe up, then a corrective structure like this, then up. Then from here we may be getting an impulse down like this, impulse down, breaking this previous low. Then from here we may be assessing structure and seeing what's next. But right now keep in mind this up, corrective structure, up like this. This previous high broken due to this up move, then we can be getting a drop. That is a possible route. So we may be getting this kind of movement here on USDCHF. This is the next move. There's also a less chance. There's a chance, but the chances are less that we may be getting a corrective structure here, big, just a small corrective structure here, then a drop like this to around this area, to around this level here. Then from here, if we get this kind of structure, we'll be looking forward to this all the way up, breaking this previous high. This is AUDNZD. For AUDNZD, you expect to get a corrective structure here, then get an up move like this. Then there's another expected corrective structure around here, then up move like this, all the way up, all the way up. That is what we're expecting on AUDNZD. We're expecting this corrective structure here, then up. Alternatively, we can just move up to around this area, then start to get the first corrective structure here, then we can get moving up like this. There is an up movement that is expected. That's on AUDNZD. This is Euro AUD, and the structure here is a little bit tricky, but based on what we are getting here, there's a chance that we might, the highest chance is we might move like this. We might move up, breaking previous high, up. We might move up, breaking previous high, and then later, after this up move is completed, we should be getting a down move. But as of now, this down move, we can have another corrective structure here, then another drop up to around this area, then still this up move is expected. This is the main move. The main move is up. These are just routes. We might head for this corrective structure route, then down before the up, but this up move is still expected. Is an expected structure, so we are expecting it. If you want to trade this buy, you should be waiting. You should be waiting for this drop from here. If you're looking forward to getting a buy, you should also follow your entry conditions. Don't just jump into this buy the moment the market opens, because it would be risky to do that. This is a drop we've been talking about on EURUSD. We've been expecting this drop, and this drop is still expected to continue all the way down. This next week we might get a corrective structure like this, then down like this, all the way down to this area. That is what we're expecting on EURUSD. This up move here may just be a pullback, then we can get a drop here like this, all the way down to this area. That is what we're expecting on EURUSD. This is gold, and on gold we got a down move like this. Now we're starting to get what looks like another impulse on the lower time frames. This is another impulse, and then when we get such a structure, this should be a start of a correction. So expecting price to move something like this, then expect more up on gold. Expect more up this next week on gold, but only after this corrective structure is completed, then we can be looking forward for this up. This corrective structure can just be a small one. From here we can get a small correction, then up like this, and from here we might be pushing up, just a small correction down, then we can get this price moving up. That is what we are expecting based on the most recent data. That is what I expect. We're expecting this up move here on gold. We can have this corrective structure unfolding like this, then we can get this up move later. But on gold, the current structure shows up,